Yeah. You gotta work. You gotta work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work.
Let the conversation begin. This is Let's Talk with your host, Carl Lee.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Lee, and this is Let's Talk. And we are here today with a couple of new folks. I don't really know if I should call them new. Everybody knows Hollis. Hollis, give a little shout out.
What's going on?
Woody Wood is going to be here.
Hello, I'm here. I'm over here.
And this particular guest, I wanted to get on the show specifically because of all of the things that he's been involved in the Kanawha Valley, sports, and all of those different things. Mike Arbogast, tell us a little bit about yourself, Mike, and then we'll kick off the show going from there.
Spent a lot of time in Kanawha County schools. Coached and taught and became an administrator, and spent the bulk of that time at South Charleston High School as an assistant basketball coach, head golf coach, and then went in and became athletic director. Went to the vice principal's office and went to the curriculum vice principal office, and eventually, after 2006-07 school year, became principal when Coach Walton ended up your old coach.
Yeah,
Coach Walton retired. I became principal at South Charleston High School and stayed there until the 2018-2019 school year.
All right. So this is going to be, and everybody's read my Facebook post, and I made some comments there that I'm really interested in trying to get to the bottom of why this youth football saga continues. And I'll say this to open it up. You need young development.
Well, tell them what the
So basically what
I don't know that.
Okay, so yeah, basically what we have had happen, and we've had this happen at least 3 times since I've been with the city. We've had teams leave a group of teams. Example, like every single time that teams leave to go create a new league. So like you might be in a 12-team league, and then all of a sudden the season's over, and right prior to the beginning of the next season, 8 teams have gone somewhere else, and leaving the other teams behind to have no place to play, teams to play. We played with 4 teams last year.
So basically, those teams are leaving.
They're leaving and form a new league,
and they're not letting certain teams in said leagues. Now,
let me clarify South Charleston, because we have been in this booting out segment every single time that this has happened. And what is different than for South Charleston is my job and another gentleman's job is to run youth football. We can't go out and recruit 15 kids from Dunbar, Charleston, anywhere, and come play on our team, because we are city funded. Okay? Note that, because that's going to be a relevant point. We are city funded, so our uniforms, all those kind of things that we need, insurance, we can get. We don't have that as an issue. Other teams have to, they have to raise money to do that, and I get that that's a challenge, but I don't get. We've not done a single thing, broke no bylaw, with the exception of this new bylaw that is with this new league, says that you cannot be city funded.
Oh, so that's why they're not letting you in the league. Okay.
Supposedly.
And they just made this rule up.
I don't think they made it up. I think that it was intentionally, because we're the only state or the city-funded program out there. Now,
And just to be clear, and as of late, I know within the last maybe 4 or 5 years, it's not really a competitive advantage because it's not like you guys been winning Uber championships.
No.
So okay, just to put that out there.
Yes, it's not like we're a dominant
dominating
program.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Our Mayor Mullins, his thing is putting out there to have an opportunity to participate.
Okay.
And that's what we do. There's also a bylaw that states that you can't be grant funded.
And this is the new league.
This is the new league.
And they said you can't be city funded.
Can't be
grant funded. What?
So
that's
What's the
insanity.
rationale?
What's the rationale?
That's my question.
And what is the name of this new league?
I don't even want to get. I don't even
We
want.
can't say that?
I don't even want to give him that. I don't even really want to give him that.
No, I'm saying I think we should definitely say
the
it
Appalachian. Okay, so
AFCC.
the
Appalachian League. It's
AFCC.
Yeah.
So
Football.
Appalachian football. What's the CC stand
I
for?
don't know. Let me go back
Community
to the laws.
corrections.
community. See, I didn't say that, ladies and gentlemen. I can say some crazy stuff. I didn't say that. So, I mean, tell me, where does that make any sense? So, I mean, we had to go to a meeting. We had to go to a meeting, sit in front of 6, 7 guys who are the president, vice president, treasurer, all of that, and talk to them about,
Well, okay, then before we give our comments, what was the rationale? And I'm specifically just saying, what was the rationale to say, okay, you can't be grant funded, you can't be city funded? What was their rationale as far as you understand it?
I don't know.
I mean, no, did they say? I'm just talking about.
No, they didn't say.
Did they say, well, this is competitive advantage? It's not right. What are we revenue sharing?
Jacob Arnold, who is over the youth sports of the city of South Charleston, stated clearly that he understood that rule was in their bylaws.
Mm-hmm.
But to understand why you would put that in a bylaw, no one's going to give you that answer.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, help me with that. I got an idea.
What I heard was that Charleston is grant funded somehow. I don't know if that's true or not. South Charleston is city funded. To keep them out, put it in your bylaws.
No, I'm not saying that that's what we think. I'm just saying, and I think that's definitely, you're right. That's what it is. I'm just saying, what was their reasoning? What did they say?
I don't think you have to have reasons.
They don't
Gotcha.
They don't say like, well, we did this because we think this is.
The name of the league is Appalachian Football and Cheer Conference,
Okay.
AFCC.
That's better than mine.
Sorry, Carl. Go ahead, man.
But we've been through this before,
Yeah.
and it's consistently South Charleston, and Dunbar. Now, tell me why, and let me speak highly of Dunbar. Okay, Dunbar has done nothing. You may not like their coaching staff. You may not like how excited they get. You may not like any of that. Mm-hmm. But they've not broken a single rule since I've been doing this for at least 8-9 years. Okay. They just show up
and play.
And the chances of you beating them, it ain't good. Okay? So, and then and in the defense of Charleston, in this last year's thing, okay, there became this idea of being able to have, some teams had some folks from travel football playing on their team along with the coach, okay, with their coach, okay? So.
But that's not a reason why they can't not join the league, right?
No, I'm just
giving.
So I'm just saying. Here's what Charleston. If you want to hold Charleston to something,
okay, that's
so Charleston in turn got some travel kids that weren't local, and they had them on their team.
Well, let's not convolute the issue because
Okay.
that's what we're just saying. Grant funded and city funded. Let's keep it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
And
Go ahead,
another thing in their bylaws, and this you could tell this was edited somehow. It went from 8 teams to 9 teams. So they had a team. They got a limit on the teams. So now if they got their teams in, which is Eastern Kanawha Cougars, Hurricane Redskins, Nitro Wildcats, Polka Dots, Ripley Vikings, Sissonville Redskins, and the Winfield Generals. And allegedly they changed the 8 to 9 because South Hills is now going to go into that league. It was at 8.
So basically, they got teams from they just basically skipped Charleston, South Charleston, Dunbar, and just got everybody from around them.
Right.
Okay.
And South Hill's not in yet. They're not in the league yet.
So they're on both sides of helping young kids. You know, like you want to give these kids an opportunity to play. So I already have all my thought processes in my head of what this stems to, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If at least 3 times that leagues have split, the same 3 teams
get left out. I'll let Mr. Arbogast go first.
Well, I don't know enough about it to know. I'm not following with what all's going on with that. But I'll tell you this on a personal standpoint. My son played midget league football, little league baseball, and midget league basketball. Made all-stars and all that for the St. Albans Little Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we live, and that's where he played. And I'm telling you for a fact, from the time he was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, competing against. At that time, I mean, we played anybody. You wanted to play us?
Anybody wanted to play.
And we went to Dunbar and got roped. I was all right with it. I mean, that's a good learning experience. Sometimes you get beat in life. You know, you got to learn how to overcome that adversity, but that's another topic. But I will tell you that today, my son Max ended up playing baseball at South Charleston, got a scholarship, went to Concord, played baseball, now lives in Cincinnati. But his closest friends are the kids that he grew up playing ball with and against. Those are, when he comes to town, those are the buddies that he calls. And they're not all St. Albans kids. Some of them are, but he got some South Charleston kids he runs with, some Dunbar kids he runs with. But my point is, that's where that was established.
Mm-hmm.
Back in youth sport days. And, here again, I mean, it's been a long time ago because I helped coach that team. Jack Rabbit Scott called me and said, "Man, I need an offensive coordinator. I know you coached over Dunbar. Why don't you come help?" So I got in there and I jumped in there and helped them. But I remember us playing South Charleston. Remember us playing Dunbar. Remember us playing Polka and Hurricane. Do we win every game? Absolutely not. But I thought it was a great experience for my kid to be able to expose to those other communities. And then, of course, you go from the youth sports into middle school. So now they're playing all against each other scholastically at the middle school. And then you go from there to the high school, and all the Kanawha Valley teams, with the exception of Sissonville and Nitro, are part of the Mountain State Athletic Conference. They were still playing each other from the time they were little kids. They competed against each other all the way through high school.
And let me just say this, and I think those are all great points, because I think that, if you're competing against the best or those kids who are good in a particular sport, that's either going to raise your level or you're going to find something else to do, point blank. However, my issue with this, and my issue has always been this, is like the most densely populated team with Black American kids and girls on it are the ones that are getting excluded. You can say whatever you want, and I'm not getting into their brains. I'm not accusing them of anything. But the effect from what I'm seeing year after year, when you have South Charleston, Dunbar, Charleston, can consistently get excluded from these sports. When you separate, they, for whatever reason, can't get in. Again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that seems to always be the cycle that we're in. Because you said 3 or 4 times. I've been back home since 2013, and this has probably happened at least 5 different times. So my recommendation, because I'm not just going to sit here and bemoan a problem. My recommendation, and what I've been saying on this show for a long time, is that youth sports, we're at a point, and it's a sad day, and it's sad that I have to say this, we're at a point where we need a governing body.
You cannot function without it.
Because hold on, but because at the end of the day, to Mr. Arbogast, these are kids. And if you just let kids play, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. I played for Western General. Nobody was better than us, but I guess what? We got whooped a couple times too. Them boys from Elkview, they whooped us a couple times. Them boys from South Charleston, the South Charleston Bears, you remember back in the day, whooped us a couple times. You going to get beat a few times, and it's okay. So my and I might do a little bit more than just recommend at this point. You need a WVSSAC for youth sports in West Virginia, because this is ridiculous at this point. That you have to keep going to suits, whether it's basketball, whether it's football and basketball. We in court all the time every year about this. This doesn't make any sense.
And it is the actual adults in the room. I mean, I'm walking into this meeting and don't say 10 words. Jacob is handling the meeting, and
you ain't say 10, Coach. I'm counting.
I didn't say 10. I didn't say 10.
I'm counting.
He ain't put that on record.
I'm counting, Coach.
I let my Jacob trumps me.
I got you.
I want Jacob to be able to say the things that he needs to say. Totally professional. And I'm thinking in my mind the whole time. There is nothing that we have done, and everything that Jacob is saying, we provide a field for playoffs. We provide a location for cheerleading competitions. We do all of that.
And particularly speaking about South Charleston, you being city funded, it's not necessarily a competitive advantage at this point.
No, it's not like it's NIL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For us, it helps us we buy the best helmets we can buy. We buy the best uniforms that we can buy. Mm-hmm. We don't have any needs, but that's our mayor who's done that. He's made that happen. Yeah, and for you to target, I mean, when you put that in your bylaws, you're targeting one place.
And additionally, what you're doing too is that, again, it's a service that South Charleston is providing to kids who may not be able to afford to play football. It's a service. Because I know even at Charleston, it's still going to cost you. But if they can get grant funded, when you talk about kids who live throughout the projects in Charleston, they are low income housing, they may not be able to afford to play. So if I can get some grant funding to help these players play, then that's what I should be doing. So to punish me for doing that, it's not about that. It's about something else. And what it is about, unfortunately, is just sad as an adult to be targeting kids in that manner.
And again, I'm going to go back to Dunbar and Mike. I know that was your stomping grounds. The athletes that they produce are tough. Those young kids are tough, and trying to beat them, it's no easy. And the coaches are hard on them, like big time. Like everybody else is patting the kids on the back, say, "Oh, it's okay, Johnny, you'll be okay." No, they're not doing that in Dunbar. They yelling and screaming at those kids. And you know what happens on Sunday, on the days that we play, bro? They win.
Yeah. A lot of kids are NFL guys too.
And now what do you do? Like, how do you now look at Dunbar and say, we can't have them? For what do you mean you can't have them?
What they do? I mean,
what they do?
My question would be, are they?
Dunbar to my knowledge, Dunbar has not broken any rule, any regulations in the bylaws, any bylaws of any team, any league that we've been in. They've never broke it. But typically what happens is they typically are going to be in the championship games. That's the problem.
And I think, this conversation, it's not about what South Charleston or Dunbar is doing or not doing. It's really about what is the mentality of those people who are making these rules to exclude kids from playing a game. We're because at the end of the day, we could talk about this and that championships. None of that it matters. It's fun. It's cool. Say I got a champion when I was 8 years old, but you're playing a game. And to your point, this is something that could build lifelong friendships,
Yes.
not just on your team, but the people you're competing against. People, I'm friends with everybody I competed against. This is something that can teach you lessons that can help you play college ball like it did me, like it did you, like it did your son. And that's what we're trying to deny these kids.
Well,
You're not qualified.
Hold your thoughts there, and let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Lock in for compelling conversations every Sunday at 1 o'clock on 580 WCHS with Let's Talk, hosted by NFL All-Pro Carl Lee. Join Carl, frequent co-host Hollis Lewis, and special guests as they dive into vital topics with engaging discussions that explore the intersection of sports and life. This show is a must-listen for sports enthusiasts and those who appreciate thought-provoking conversations. Tune in Sunday afternoons at 1 and visit WCHSnetwork.com/Let's Talk for more. Follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Carl Lee. Visit WCHSnetwork.com/Let's Talk for more.
Sponsorship opportunities are available. Contact Carl Lee at letstalk@promessage.com, Dale Cooper at dcooper@wvradio.com, or call 304-342-8131. Ask Carl a question or comment on current or previous episodes. Visit Let's Talk Carl Lee on Facebook. Like, rate, and subscribe from your podcast service to help more people find Let's Talk with Carl Lee. Now, back to the conversation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back off the break. And so, Mike, this is something that's been out of your wheelhouse, something that you're totally unaware of.
Yes.
But-
First I've heard of that.
Yes. Hearing it, what do you think? Like, what does it make you feel like as a coach, somebody who's been at Dunbar, somebody who has been in the school system, understands the reality of fairness, equal opportunities, all of these kinds of things that you have to do in the school systems, and yet it's clear that there's something wrong here.
Well, kids are kids.
Yeah.
And like I say, I don't know the particulars. I don't know who's in charge of your Constitution, bylaws, all that stuff. But I think it'd be a shame to deprive kids in our valley to be able to compete against each other in any sport, and not just football, whether it be basketball or Little League baseball. Here again, we looked at it as let's play everybody we can. Here again, those kids are all going to be competing against each other in the middle school conference. And for the bulk of them, they're going to be in the Mountain State Athletic Conference. They're going to get to be competing against each other. Why not get to know each other a little bit, early on? I don't know what a rationale could be to say, well, we're going to go form our own league, and we don't want you, don't want you, don't want you. I can't even wrap my mind around it. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
And when you talk
Woody,
about,
hold on 1 second. I want to get Woody in here.
Hey, Delegate, I got a question. These schools and teams and neighborhoods play in baseball. They play each other. My son play baseball. They play basketball. They play against each other. Why is it soccer? That's definitely soccer. They play against each other. Why is it just the football that want to form this league and leave these teams out?
I think football's our sport.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
I think what football does to grown men, okay, they get so invested in it that they can't handle losing.
Yeah.
They can't handle if I know for a fact that I can't outplay you in baseball. Well, you know what? The easiest thing for me to do is not get better, is just get you out of the league. Get all of the kids that you play with. Y'all don't know. We ain't playing y'all.
I got to follow.
I think football is just our favorite sport around here. Football's West Virginia sport. It's big, and I think that's a lot of dads get wrapped up in that. And with football, it's not like baseball and basketball, where baseball and basketball you got to concede the fact that you're going to lose some games. Football doesn't necessarily have to be like that. You're only playing a finite amount of games, so you don't want to.
So follow up, Delegate. If they won't let South Charleston, and Dunbar in, or South Hills, we're not playing you in any sports. You're not using our fields. You're not using our basketball courts. You're not using anything if you're not gonna let us in this league. We're not gonna play you in soccer, then y'all ain't gonna play us in football. We're not gonna play you in baseball, then y'all won't play us in football. No, you're not using nothing. We ain't let. Now let's see how that happens. Let's see when we turn and they want to use these Charleston football fields for their soccer tournaments, and they want to use all that. No, I'm not letting y'all.
See, and I think the reasoning and the importance of this show is to make sure that those people understand what is actually happening. Because Mike, just like you said, you hadn't even heard of it. Hadn't heard anything about it. I don't know, Woody, if you had heard anything about it, but if you're hearing about it, that's because somebody on one of those teams that are booted out are talking about it.
Right.
Outside of that, ain't nobody talking. Ain't nobody saying anything.
Well, and let me
because
say
they
this.
want to keep it on the down low so they can push their way all the way to the season and say, oh, well, it's too late now.
And let me say this. And we've spent an exorbitant amount of time talking about transfer rule on this show, right? Talking about, with the high school and the college transfer. But I'm just saying, but if we want to know where transfer and moving teams starts, it does not start with the kids. It don't start with the kids. It starts with the adults. Because just like this, you got a 7, 8, 9-year-old kid who's probably having fun playing against the next school, or maybe he went to school they were playing for Dunbar, he playing for South Charleston.
Yep.
And they're going at it or whatever. Now he has to play against somebody else. So every time it got tough, these parents move from one league to the next. I know I've been back home since 2013, and Woody, I know it's been at least 6, 7 organizations, 6, 7 leagues that's formed and destroyed. I know it's been because, and that's what I'm saying. So when we look at the transfer portal from the college to college and high school, it starts with the parents. This is a parent issue, not a kid issue.
I'm 100%, and I'll make this case. It's not even. I'm going to give the parent. I'm going to give the parent that's at home. I'm going to give them the break.
No, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's the bodies in the room. It's the bodies that's in the room that's making these decisions. I'm telling you, I'm sitting, me and Jacob are sitting in this room with, like I said, six or 7 other guys, okay? And we're talking, Jacob's talking, and I jump in a little bit here, a little bit there, and, we're trying to, how do you sell your youth program? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've never broken a rule. I know what you're saying.
But I'm saying it's not that. It's the parents, because if I'm at St. Albans, if I'm at South Hills, if I'm a parent and I got a kid who's playing football or cheerleading, whatever right there, I'm protesting that. You're not about to just take them out.
I don't think anybody.
Because when we talk about community, we saying a community as a whole.
Wait a minute. South Charleston, Dunbar, and Charleston. Bro, we locked on.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about St. Albans. I'm talking about South Hills. I'm talking about Winfield. I'm saying these folks you need to let them in, or we're not playing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody. Right. What I'm saying is, like, somebody got to take a stand.
I don't think anybody's willing to do that.
So may I ask, Coach, what organizations was in the room that didn't speak up? Because I always say, if I'm not around and you don't speak up for me, agreeing with me.
We don't know.
I thought in the meeting
we were in the meeting. Yeah. We were just talking. They weren't saying anything. We were just saying. Jacob was just saying who we are, what we do, we are in charge of youth sports, so we don't do anything illegal. We don't recruit kids from other areas. We don't do that. And they're all just sitting there, Okay.
I know when you say all, who is the all, or you don't know?
I don't know all. I didn't know all the guys that were in there, but I know Nitro. But it was the president, the vice president. It was basically.
But they come from them organizations.
them organizations. They are head of those organizations, so they're fully aware. They're fully aware of when you're saying no. When you're agreeing to say no, you're taking all the black kids from Dunbar. You're not playing them. You're not playing them.
And it's all kids.
And it is all
kids. It's
all
everybody.
kids.
I don't know why.
Here's the component though. If you look like me, okay? If you look like Hollis, and you look like Woody, and the teams that that you're trying to get to play looks like us, look like young kids like us. And Hollis said it earlier. And I really didn't want to get to this. I didn't really want to go. Yeah, I kind of did, maybe. To get here because you don't have a reason. You don't have a reason to say South Charleston is not worthy of our league. You can beat us up or we can beat you up, okay, in a game. But why are we not qualified? You don't ever have to worry about us paying anything, all the insurance, we can pay it, we can do all that kind of stuff. Our kids just want to be able to play. So what could be the reason? I mean, if anybody out there who's hearing this show tonight, shoot me a text, tell me what you think it could be, because it can't be. And if you're on the board and you're pissed at me right now, all I'm doing is what you did. I'm just talking about what you did.
And here's the thing. Dunbar, South Charleston, they ain't going to win every year.
No.
They ain't going to win. It's going to be some Hurricane teams that's going to be good. It's going to be some Nitro teams that's going to whoop them. Just like Elkview used to whoop us back in the day. So you ain't go. So what I'm saying is that, and I'm saying whatever the reason is, that the power now has got to be taken out of all coaches' hands.
Yeah, the adults in the room cannot run youth football.
It can't go no more.
Like I said, we run the city runs our youth football, so we're accountable for that. We're accountable for messing it up. But what we need is a governing body to make the case for everybody.
Here's the thing: when we talking about transfers and all that, in their bylaws, they got like Eastern Kanawha County Cougars. You got to go to these certain schools. So Hurricane, you got to go to these certain schools. So if my kid go to Westside Elementary, he can't even play in the league for a team that's in the league. That he's not allowed. So that really gets you Carl, that really I'm looking at these schools. Nitro Wildcats got to be Cross Lanes, Point Harmony, Nitro, or Andrew Jackson. If a child go to Westside or Mary C. Snow, he can't play in the league for any team. I don't care if he played for one of the, all right, I'm going to just take my kid to go play in the league and he want to go play for Nitro. No, he can't even play. Or not just the men, the women, the little girls can't even cheer. Now, this is disgusting. Now, this hurt me, man. Oh, we about to jump on this. This is disgusting. If somebody in South Charleston that goes to the elementary school cannot play in this league, according to their bylaws, there's not a South Charleston on here. There's not a West Side school on here. It's not an elementary school.
Basically, what they would basically have to do is go somewhere else.
No, they got to trade schools to play some football.
But here's what I'll say to this. Unless we're mad about this and it's not right. But here's what I'll say. I think maybe at some point, South Charleston, Dunbar, we got to get together. And we got to raise some money, buy some buses, and us three just compete travel. So that way we can compete against teams.
Hey, we got to do all that to play football.
I'm saying no. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying though,
right here. We got to go buy buses now.
But listen, what I'm saying though, it happens every year. Every other year, this keeps happening. So if we're not prepared to really take this thing all the way to the court systems and say, look. Or advocate for your legislator to say, look, we need a governing body for youth sports. We got to do something different.
Imagine taking this case. Imagine taking this case to any attorney, okay? Taking this to any court, taking this to any politician, any Kanawha County politician, and say, you got 3 teams in Kanawha County that can't play football in any league. I mean, not saying other than going to Huntington, to Tri-State, okay? Which is the option that everybody's starting to take, is going to Tri-State.
That might just be the option.
You know, here's my thing. We may end up in Tri-State, but I'm not good with this.
I'm not good with it either.
Because I think you cannot let them do this. And I'll even make the case, even if they have to change it, they have to change. They have to allow teams to come in. Then we still can go to Tri-State. But I just think that we need the suits and ties At this point, we need suits and ties to understand you're missing it.
But but what I'm saying though, Coach, is that suit and ties already been down this road. Boomy, she sued him the last time the league tried to do this. We've been down this road time and time again. So at some point, I don't want to be where you don't want me to be. So unless we're gonna say, like I said,
Dunbar says the same thing, and
I don't want to be where you want, where I don't want to be no more.
I don't want you to run, but here's my thing. I don't want you to run me out of nothing.
You ain't running me. You're running. I'm standing 10 toes down. I'm not running anywhere. You're running, not me.
But why can't we talking about youth football? So,
Hollis,
I love you to death.
Yeah.
I don't want my son got to go travel 50 minutes every time to play a football game, bro.
You're 100%
that don't
right.
matter. This game don't matter at all. I got to get on a bus and pack a lunch and give him a suitcase to play some youth football when we got a league 5 minutes down the street.
Game's not gonna last very long anyway.
Yeah, bro. I gotta drive
you
longer
gonna be
than
in the car.
game.
You gonna be in the car longer than you gonna be at the game.
Here's what I'm saying. I understand all that. And I'm not telling you that you're not right.
I know. I know where
y'all 100% right. I don't have an argument to defend against my position. But my position is just at some point, if you don't want me there, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do it bigger and better. And I'm going to do it to a level now you're going to want to join me. And I think that's what we got to get to, because we can't keep fighting the same fight.
We ain't got enough. We don't have enough teams. We don't have the kid power to make them want to be with us.
If you go to the tri-state and you make it everything that it can be, you're pouring resources, you actually get a functioning board, you get grant writers, and I'm saying you get fundraisers, you get a marketing team, and you really make it to the best of it can be, I'm telling you, other teams will want to join. I'm not saying just these 3 teams. I'm saying obviously you got to have more teams than that. But if you really get it to a high level point, they're going to look at them and say, man, I'm going to go down there.
But see,
I'm saying at some point, what we going to do? We can't keep talking about this.
I have said this a bunch of times on the show. I can be petty. Do you think one of those dudes at that table, let's say we do exactly what you say. Yeah. Let's say our championship team gets to go to see, goes to the Hall of Fame.
Or get to play with Snoop Dogg's team or something.
Whatever. I ain't willing to. I'm not willing to give that to them. They can't join me.
At that point, maybe you call the shots.
I'm too petty and too simple to see again, because this looks ugly to me. Like, this just looks ugly to me.
It feels ugly too.
And yeah, it's a feel. And Mike, and you sitting in the room with 3 brothers, and I know you are. I know you comfortable. You in your natural space. You comfortable.
But you know what,
Coach,
there's black kids in the St. Albans League, and there's white kids in the Dunbar League, and there's white kids in the South Charleston League. We got Nitro. Their African American group is growing.
And South Charleston majority white.
Yeah, we're majority white. Now I'm the president. Unfortunately,
it's crazy.
I don't understand.
Understand.
It's gotta be deeper than race. There's gotta be something else to it, though. What was their rationale for saying we don't want to play teams within 5 miles of us?
They call you, tell you, unfortunately, we're not accepting you.
Well, that didn't happen back in my kids' day. Early 2000s. I don't understand. I mean, you're saying that there are people that are in charge of the league that are now.
He can't even wrap his mind around.
I can't.
This has been happening. This has been happening for at least 15 years, right?
This has been happening,
man. About 10.
When the Lawyers because Max was playing in there.
Yeah, about 10,
15 years.
When the Lawyers
we played everybody.
Yeah.
We went up West Side and got ran all over. Went to Dunbar, got ran over. Get up and brush yourself off, boy. That's who you're gonna be playing in high school. You better get used to it.
You fool around and go. When you come to Charleston, you got Midwestern, Western, Docks. You got 3. You got 3. You got 3 losses right in a row. You automatically knowing that you're gonna get those losses.
Well, we didn't walk in thinking that.
So, Coach, do you think this is about winning and losing? Like, these other teams never have a shot to win a championship, or is it about the drama that some of these teams bring to the league? Also,
there's gotta be something else.
Let's give the benefit of the doubt that this drama that there's drama, okay? All right? South Charleston, we don't bring drama. So why are we not in? We can't afford to have drama. So that drama can't be it.
Okay.
But, and I'll tell you this.
So just
if you're talking about drama at a cheer, my daughters cheer for South Charleston in our first cheerleading competition. Guess where the drama came from? It ain't come from Dunbar. Ain't come from South Charleston. Ain't come from Charleston. Came from South Hills. They was the ones ready to fight.
Hey, Hollis, you live in that neighborhood, boy.
I'm just saying that's where the drama came from. So drama, everybody got their own drama is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
No matter where I'm sure Winfield got theirs and Nitros and everybody got their own drama. So the drama is equally distributed. It may look a little different, but drama. So I don't think it's that. I just think, like I said, I think it comes down to wins, losses, maybe your style of play, maybe race. It's a bunch of factors that could go into it.
The fact that you had to use city-funded program as a bylaw. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, that's one person. Like you are South Charleston, the only one.
Only one.
And it's not a competitive advantage.
And it's not creating no kind of advantage.
Yeah.
I like South Charleston because my kid get to play baseball for free.
Yeah.
And it's a nice field. It's you walk.
You done switched to South Charleston?
Yeah, we left Dunbar. I live in South Charleston.
You transfer, Rudy.
In the portal.
Hey,
His kid in the portal.
South Charleston got turf on their baseball field. We played in dirty grass. It was messy. But that was one thing I do. I talked to Mayor Amy Goodwin about that. How can we have the kids in Charleston don't have to pay? South Charleston, they got the foundation. They got how it works. Yeah. We just need to adapt it. I can't believe you're getting punished for the city being behind kids.
So what was the rationale, Coach, they gave Jacob for saying, I'm sorry, y'all can't play?
They didn't.
That's what I'm trying to get.
They didn't.
That don't make no sense to me.
They did not. They made the choice that unfortunately, we were not selected.
For no reason. So
no, the reason is their bylaw because they're funded.
They're going to stand by their bylaw. See, so that was going to be a no.
Well, call Frankie and say, sorry, we're not going to take your money no more. We're going to let the parents. Yeah. I mean, I know back when Max was playing, we had kids, and we kids who couldn't afford, to pay that tuition, and we had other parents step up and say, hey, look, man, here's $100, throw it toward his and that, and the city wasn't paying for it, but other parents chipped in who were better to do. And we wanted all kids to have that opportunity to come.
And you can't tell me that there are not kids whose parents can't fund them that are still playing, whether somebody's paying it for them.
Yes,
or
that's what I'm saying.
Or they're not paying. They're not forcing them to pay. Why? Because they can't afford it.
But that's besides the point. You are an independent organization. You can run your organization
any way that you choose.
You can fund it. I'll say that. You should be able to fund your organization how you choose to fund your organization.
Our funding is not.
And what I think is that at some point we just got to go where we're wanted, not tolerated. We can't. I
100% agree. I 100.
So the Kanawha Valley Football League is no more. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, that's been gone.
No, it's been gone.
That's been.
Oh, we saying I'm getting old?
No, I'm just saying. No, you ain't getting old. But it's just changed about 10 times. Yeah,
it just changes.
It's been the Cardinal League. It's been what it was last year.
We were trying to expand. I mean, during that time, that's when we started going to Hurricane, Winfield, Polka. We were already playing everybody here in the Valley. We're like, man,
and
I want my kid to play everybody. He got
all of a sudden, those teams became dominant forces on the board. I mean, you've had, Polka as the president. You've had, you got Nitro guy as the president now. You've got all these guys. And again, means nothing. What matters is is what you're trying to do. What are you trying to do with that power?
This is pure ridiculous.
It's shameful. I mean, it is. I mean, there's no justification.
I hope you can get that issue resolved.
Yeah.
And or they come up with a rationale to say, whether it be the funding thing.
Well, I'm hoping that
we won't pay. We'll start paying our own way.
I'm hoping that the people who are listening, even if you're at Nitro, even if you're at Hurricane, even if you're at Winfield, I hope that you understand that there are young kids like yours who are constantly getting mistreated for the the individuals who are running the programs for you, because they're either wanting to win or they don't like what we bring.
Yeah.
Whatever those are, I'm not going to make the case that it's either or. Could be both. It could be one or the other. But there is something totally wrong, unethically, because it's the same teams.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's the same teams.
It's a moral wrong and it's an ethical wrong.
Yes.
It's just this ain't right.
And if you're listening, you know a politician, you know a lawyer, talk to them and ask them. Like, I was listening to Let's Talk, and they were saying that 3 teams keep getting booted out of these leagues, and they won't let them in. How is that possible?
When
because
is the
what
next
if that was Hurricane, Winfield, and Polk?
It wouldn't happen.
No, it wouldn't happen. But what if those 3 teams were out? What would they do? What would they do?
Let me ask you this: what is the parents' position? Like from the South Charleston, I know you may not know Charleston and Dunbar situation, but like, what are the parents from South Charleston saying?
Most of the parents are probably, if depending on who Jacob's talked to, some of those parents who are listening to the shows is hearing this for the first time.
Oh, so this is
yeah. We went to the meeting the other day, and we just kind of talked.
So
about
have
it.
you had a parent meeting yet?
No, we've not.
When is that going to happen?
Well, that was what we wanted to get through the meeting, see what they said. And like I said, they called us, it was like 10:30 or something that night, and let us know. So I think that was last Thursday or Friday or something.
So I would be interested, like once you have that parent meeting, what like parent and coaches meeting from, South Charleston organization, what their response and how they want to, move forward. And when you have that, please let me know and I'll come and be there.
Do we know the 9th team that got in? Because it started with 8. There's 8 on their bylaws. So you can see they edit and put 9. The membership for this league should consist no more than 9 franchise members. So it was 8, but you can see an edit. You can see that.
You said South Hills, right?
We don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing.
My assumption may be South Hills. That may be my assumption.
So and St. Albans in that league too?
And St. Albans I know applied.
No, St. Albans not originally. Eastern Kanawha Cougars, Hurricane Redskins, Nitro Wildcats, Polka Dots, Ripley Vikings, Sissonville Redskins, and Winfield Generals.
What's wrong?
Kicked out St. Albans.
St. Albans ain't in there.
Cold River boys.
So what happened? What happened with St. Albans? What?
We don't know. I mean, and again, if you let him in, say it. Why are you holding that back?
Man, this ain't even the point. Just
You know
let
what I'm saying?
everybody play.
Just let them out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
This is ridiculous.
Like this is some
Lord
really
Almighty.
important information that we need to hold. Who's the new member?
Yeah.
Who we let in? Who we didn't let?
And this is a sad truth where like I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble. It's almost having the dad back in the day. And again, this is back in the day, people. Drinking the beer at practice. Remember the dad drinking beer at practice? He just got out there coaching, and then him and the boys, they'll just go drink some beers, and they'll just have fun, and the league was fun, and then him and the opposing team, they all just drink some beers together after the game. It's like an old softball game or something. I'd almost rather have them than what we got now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, what do we do? Like, are we excluding kids from playing sports?
What is
that
different?
Is bananas.
What is different is the guy on the other sideline doesn't respect the guy on the other sideline. It's a disrespect because any coach that I coach against, I got a mutual respect for him because I know what he's going through.
Coach, it's youth sports. Y'all supposed to be trading plays and having fun and going out to taking everybody out to eat after
These
the game.
dudes,
This ain't war.
This is their opportunity. This is their opportunity.
Opportunity for what?
To take a bunch of kids, go out and win a championship, and hey, I'm the guy.
I mean, that's cool. Everybody wants to win. I'm not opposed to winning. But dang, bro, we're supposed to just all be having fun. This is fun.
To want to win, to want to win so bad that you will eliminate teams, kids, to participate is an issue. You want to win too much.
Jeez.
So back in my day in St. Albans, which is where we are, we're out Coal River.
Mm-hmm.
So Tornado had a team, and then St. Albans Little Dragons had a team. So that's what I mean. I haven't been involved in
that's what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's not like it. So
Tornado don't have a team.
I don't think
so
Tornado has a team.
they
St.
consolidated
Albans.
with St. Albans probably just for sheer number standpoint of it. So you're saying that St. Albans being involved in that, and you're saying that South Charleston, Dunbar,
in Charleston,
and then
South
Hills.
Yes.
So I mean, here again, I can't see that being. I can't wrap my mind around the rationale for it. It can't be just a black-white thing if that's what you're thinking.
It's not because South Charleston is a white team.
Yeah, and St. Albans is
but
too.
you have a black
and South Hills
president.
is
You do have a
too.
black
I don't think that
president.
matters.
But here's
Quit causing problems, Coach. What's up?
and here's the thing. Now, South Hills they recently have had, and we had youth basketball. We had all-star basketball the other day. Their basketball team, they've got some kids that are black. So they've got some black kids. But
everybody does.
But yeah,
everybody's got
pretty
white
much
kids.
everybody.
I'm
Pretty
telling
much
you, but
everybody.
the bottom line is the kids are kids. I'm just saying, and trying to think about this. You want to play proximity is what I'm thinking about. On that Sunday, not being out all day traveling to have my kid go play. I'm just saying there's got to be some type of rationale.
Wouldn't you tell me?
Say,
wouldn't you tell me? Wouldn't you tell me when you call me and tell me, well, we're not taking South Charleston? Wouldn't you say? And the reason we're not saying, yes,
here's the rule, but they told you, Coach, you're city funded.
That ain't St. Albans. At least it didn't used to be. Now maybe Scott James changed that.
Dunbar's not.
We raised our
Dunbar's
own
not
money.
city funded.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm just talking about
I know.
South Charleston.
Yeah.
But when you was talking about the kids and all this, we can break that down. Now they're just doing neighborhoods and schools. If you go to this school, you can't play in our league. If you go to this school,
Back in the day, they had waivers.
That's about. Hey, so yeah. So what you're saying, Woody, is like if you're going to this particular school, you got no team to play for.
you cannot play in our
nowhere.
league. Something got to be wrong with that.
Unless
delegate.
somebody recruits you.
You can't play. No, you got to move a child for play youth football. I got to move his elementary school and leave his friends to go play for 10 minutes. Bro, we playing 5-minute quarters or whatever, running clock. Are we serious?
I just think, man, I think that, this is a societal problem. This is a moral.
It's an unknown. It's an unknown.
Not an unknown.
Yeah,
it's not unknown.
For a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know. I
No,
think
no,
unknown to me.
I think people know if you're involved in it. Like if you've been in any
Okay,
youth
I'll give you
sport,
that.
you know that.
Did
If you're not involved, you're not
No,
involved.
I don't give you that one, Hollis.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you go to Mary C. Snow, you can play in that league at
No,
all?
what I'm saying is I'm not involved. I don't have a child in youth
I
football.
know, but what I'm saying is
So what I'm saying is that
people don't know.
No,
bro.
no. Here's what I'm saying though. People know because there's been lawsuits every other year. There's a lawsuit about.
I
this.
think this the worst bylaws I've seen.
So I'm not saying you may not know specifically about the bylaws.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you know about them excluding teams and kids from playing youth sports is what I'm saying. You know about the big picture. So what I'm saying is that to me, this is a societal wrong. This is a moral wrong. This is an ethical wrong. And I'm sure I don't know specifically, but there's got to be a legal wrong here too.
Me too. I mean,
know what I'm saying?
and that's what I'm saying. Gotta be.
It's because when you're excluding, because I'm saying if you're basing it off of school district,
Yes.
you're using county and city facilities, then we could. There's something to be had there. You cannot exclude and discriminate based on certain
That's
factors.
100% discrimination.
That's what
that
Boomie,
has to happen.
That's what
That is
Boomie
where we
won
are.
his suit off last time.
That is where we are.
But
to
that's
the point.
but even to that point, to have to implement a lawsuit to play darn football.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
what we
Little
talking
kids.
about. With little kids, we're talking about. Listen, we're talking about a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid,
5-year-old.
5-year-old, who I'm not sure should be playing tackle football anyway.
I'm-
but
I'm with you,
That's
but-
not.
but
That's besides
that's
the point.
another- that's another story.
But we're talking about we'll say a 7, 8-year-old baby who just went out there play and run around. Don't know what the heck they doing. Just out there
And just
having
happy
fun.
being out there.
Just want to be out there. We talking about kids. And who don't.
And we are sitting on the sideline. We're sitting on the sideline, proud of what we did. We kept all them other teams out.
Wow.
Yeah, how can you?
How can you sit there and watch your kid or your kid, even if you don't have a kid, but your kids that you coaching, they out there on the field winning, losing, or whatever.
But let's do this.
And you know my
do
grandson can't play.
But let's do this. Mayor of Nitro, mayor of Hurricane, mayor of Winfield, mayor of Ripley, mayor of East Marmet, mayor of Chesapeake, mayor of Polka, city commissioners, city council members. It's time for y'all to step up at this point.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because we can't.
This is ridiculous at this point.
You can't trust. You cannot trust the adults in the room.
We're talking about babies and kids.
Yes.
We're talking about not only the boys too. I got all daughters, so we're talking about the cheerleader babies.
Yeah,
we're talking about the kids who just out there just want to have fun.
The impact is the cheerleaders. They don't get to cheer.
Yeah,
they ain't got a team to cheer for. So
and I'm advocating something that's detrimental on me, because if you ever been to a cheerleading competition with about 10 teams, it's about 2.5 days. You there for 10 hours a day, for 3 weeks. So that ain't good on me, and I'm advocating for it.
All right. Anybody got any last thoughts?
How many teams you got up Charleston?
How many teams in Charleston?
Yeah.
One now.
Just
only
one?
Charleston Cougars, yes, sir.
KC,
well, I mean, I'm sorry.
Midwestern,
I'm
and
sorry.
Western.
South Hills is Charleston. I'm sorry. South
Well,
Hills.
South Hill, so you got those two. Kanawha City.
No more.
There's no
Kanawha
City,
City, Midwestern, and
Colts.
Western.
They're
They're
They're all
called the
one
Eastern.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kanawha
East
City
is
team is
good.
called like the Eastern Cougars
Kanawha.
now.
Some
Some of
Eastern
them play. Some of them
Solidarity.
play with Charleston too.
Yeah,
They split up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an Eastern
In
Kanawha
my
thing.
mind, I'm thinking about scheduling. I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to have to get with St. Albans and Dunbar and Charleston, and then figure out who else you're going to try to get in.
I mean,
to come in and play.
we talked about a crazy schedule. Play a game, a bye. Play a game, bye. Play a
That's
game,
terrible,
bye.
Coach.
And then play.
Just go
tournament.
join the Tri-State for
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
how many games you play in a season?
We played 6 games last year.
6?
I think most of them play. I don't know if they play in 9 or 10 games.
So you got St. Albans, South Charleston, Dunbar, and Charleston are
Yeah.
now the 4 teams that this new formed league said
Can't play
y'all
in their
can't
league.
play here.
Yeah.
Have you spoken with the people in charge at St. Albans? I don't even know who it would be anymore. Like I say, it's been too long for me.
I think but here's what's happening. Everybody's had these meetings, but nobody wants to say whether or not
They don't know who's going to be in and out.
They don't want to say if they're
So
in.
right now it's not even.
Oh, so it's not.
Yeah, so it's
figured all the
still
way
kind of.
So they
private.
still they might come get you behind the scenes and say, "Hey, man, we really want you to go."
No. What's happening is they know who's going to be in. They're just not saying it. The team's not saying it. Because again, if I'm South Hills and I got in, I don't want to. And they tell me don't say anything. I can't. I ain't gonna say anything because what? I don't want to. I don't want to risk being out. If St. Albans got in, I can't say anything because I don't want to risk being put out.
Man, this vexed my spirit. My head hurt off of this.
You know.
This is
Well,
it's crazy.
I don't. You're going to have a plan B. It sounds to me like I can't wrap my mind around that. I mean, say when my kid was going through, we played everybody for better or for worse. I mean, in all sports, and that's the way I wanted, or we wanted at the time.
Football, and to Hollis's point, football is the only
Football's king.
sport. It's the
So
only
you're
sport
still
that's happening.
so in basketball, you still play.
Yeah, they
baseball,
still play us in
Little League,
basketball.
Still play
Yeah.
All Stars.
And I think, until your point, you definitely got to have a plan B. That's why I would say, at the very least, whoever don't get into that league, y'all got to be unified, and maybe y'all can go and play the Tri-State or play a Beckley and Bluefield, just so you're not, because that playing the same team, that's not good.
No,
You
we
only
can't. No, we
playing-
can't. We
you don't want
cannot
10
survive.
games. Yeah, that's
we
that's
can't
not
survive
good.
with 4 teams.
Yeah, so I'm saying you take
And we
those
definitely
4.
can't do 3.
Even if you come down to 3 teams, you take
that's what
those
I
3
think we're gonna
teams
end up.
and you play some Tri-State teams, see if you can get some games down there, play some Bluefield teams, play some Logan teams, and just kind of do it like that until you can get stabilized.
Hey, you know
again.
what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
You ain't playing football, dog. I'm not driving no hour and a half for no 10 minutes, man. Like, this ain't no college. This ain't high school. This ain't even middle school. You gonna get a plastic trophy. You gonna twist your ankle, and I done drove 2 hours to watch you play for 10 minutes, bro. We going to play soccer. It's really running kids away from the sport.
Man, that's a good point, Woody. I ain't thinking about
We
that.
going to play
Yes,
soccer. Like,
yes.
I just want you out there to run anyways. I don't care if you win or lose or nothing like that. Just go run. So it's.
But you
this is
said,
disgusting,
you
man.
send me the teams, and I'm saying on record that the teams that are allowed in this league, your city council, your mayors, your politicians from that, your senators, your delegates, y'all got to step up and do something about this because this ain't right.
Yeah, and parents that are finding out about what this is, say something. Say something. Go to the coaches and say something. Ask them to maybe explain to you why they're not letting these other teams in.
Yeah.
Because if not, there's nothing that's going to change them because you actually are in control of those teams. Believe it or not, you are in control of those teams because you got the kids. And if they don't, so you can control whether or not they play or not. And unless you okay with it, and then I like I said, I just don't know what to say if you're okay with it. But
Hollis took his headphones off.
He's disgusted. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you have some side to pick, and I'll be looking at my note, the responses later on. And have a good night. We'll be out of here. Night.
The opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of WVRC Media, its management, employees, or sponsors. Follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Carl Lee. Visit WCHSnetwork.com/Let's Talk for more. Let's Talk with Carl Lee is a show that delves deep into the heart of sports, ethics, and personal responsibility. Join NFL All-Pro Carl Lee, along with frequent co-host Hollis Lewis, as they engage in thought-provoking conversations with influential guests from youth athletics, the sports world, and beyond. And don't miss the Overtime mini episodes where Carl offers quick personal insights on a wide range of topics. Tune in weekly at WCHSnetwork.com/Let's Talk and follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Carl Lee.